Good night, this is Fumi Sleepy Time Stories. Tonight's bedtime story is about to begin.
Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a mother and her daughter. The girl was very cute, innocent, and always willing to help others. Everyone liked her, but the one who loved her the most was her grandmother. The girl and her grandmother had a close bond. In the afternoons, they would read together, weave flower baskets, and, when the weather was nice, go for picnics or outings. However, as her grandmother grew older, her health deteriorated. She had no choice but to move deep into the forest to recuperate. The girl and her mother would visit her regularly to take care of her. Her grandmother was very skilled at sewing and often made clothes, hats, and gloves for the girl. At the girl's birthday party, her grandmother gifted her a small cape with a hood. It was a beautiful rose-red color, embroidered with delicate golden floral patterns. Her grandmother carefully tied the cape's ribbon for her. The girl spun around happily, making her mother and grandmother laugh. The size was just right, and the red color made her fair skin look even more delicate and lovely, like a little princess. From that day on, whether she was going out or staying in, rain or shine, the girl would always wear this red cape. As a result, everyone started calling her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, the mother said to Little Red Riding Hood, "Here, take these small cakes and a bottle of wine to your grandmother. She's sick again and very weak. These will help her feel better. It's still bright outside, so hurry along. Walk carefully, don't run, and don't leave the main road. Otherwise, you might fall, and then Grandma won't get anything to eat. When you reach her house, remember to greet her properly. Also, don't wander around the house, and most importantly, don't talk to strangers. I'll be careful." Little Red Riding Hood obediently replied, and even made a pinky promise with her mother. To have a peaceful place to rest, Grandma's house was deep in the forest outside the town, quite far from Little Red Riding Hood's home. When she left, the sky was clear and blue. The breeze was gentle, and the flowers along the road were in full bloom. Feeling cheerful, Little Red Riding Hood hummed a song as she walked. Halfway through her journey, she passed by a large flower garden. It didn't belong to anyone, and legend had it that it was once the royal garden of a princess long ago. Seeing such a beautiful sight, Little Red Riding Hood couldn't help but stop and admire the wonders of nature. She thought, if only Grandma could come and see this too. Oh, why don't I pick some flowers for her? Grandma loves flowers. She'll be so happy. Forgetting her mother's warning, Little Red Riding Hood stepped into the garden and started picking flowers. She picked pink and orange tulips, white and purple hyacinths, and soft lavender violets. She carefully arranged them into a bouquet filled with the colors of spring, warm and bright. Not satisfied with just a bouquet, she also began making flower crowns, completely absorbed in the world of flowers. Just then, a big wolf emerged from the shadows. It had been watching her for a while. Seeing that Little Red Riding Hood was alone, it slowly approached and spoke to her. "Hello, Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood didn't know the wolf was dangerous, so she wasn't afraid at all. "Hello, Mr. Wolf." "Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you going so early?" "I'm going to my grandmother's house." "What's in your basket? It smells delicious." "Some cakes and wine. My poor grandmother is sick, so she needs delicious food to recover." "Where does your grandmother live?" After entering the forest, there's still a bit of a walk. Her house is under 3 big oak trees, surrounded by a walnut hedge. You'll recognize it right away. The wolf thought to itself, "This little girl must taste much better than the old lady. I need to come up with a plan to catch them both." The wolf walked alongside Little Red Riding Hood for a while before saying, "Little Red Riding Hood, look at those beautiful flowers ahead. Why not go take a closer look? And listen to the birds singing. Aren't their songs lovely? You probably haven't noticed them at all. The forest is full of wonderful things, and you're missing out." Little Red Riding Hood looked up and saw sunlight dancing between the leaves and colorful flowers blooming all around. "Maybe I can pick a few more flowers and take in more of this scenery. Grandma will be so happy when I tell her about it. It's still early. I won't be late." So she left the main path and wandered deeper into the forest, picking flowers as she went. Each time she picked one, she saw an even more beautiful one further ahead, leading her deeper and deeper into the woods. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to Grandma's house and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" came the old woman's voice from inside. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," the wolf answered. "I brought you cake and wine. Please open the door." "Just pull the latch," Grandma replied. "I'm too weak to get up." The wolf pulled the latch, and the door swung open. Without hesitation, it pounced on Grandma and swallowed her whole. Then it put on her nightgown and cap, climbed into bed, and drew the curtains. At that moment, Little Red Riding Hood was still happily picking flowers. Only when she had gathered as many as she could carry did she finally remember her grandmother and set off again. When she arrived, she saw that the front door was open and found it strange. She knocked and called, "Grandma, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood. Are you home?" No answer. She thought, maybe Grandma is asleep. So she walked in. As soon as she stepped inside, an uneasy feeling crept over her. "Why do I feel scared? I usually love coming here." Suppressing her fear, she followed her mother's advice and called out, "Good morning, Grandma." Still, there was no response. She approached the bed and pulled back the curtains. Her grandmother was lying there, her cap pulled down low, looking very strange. "Grandma, why are your ears so big?" "So I can hear you better, my dear." Although Grandma's voice sounded different, Little Red Riding Hood didn't suspect anything. "But Grandma, why are your eyes so big?" "So I can see you better, my dear." "Grandma, why are your hands so big?" "So I can hug you better, my dear." "Grandma, why is your mouth so big?" "So I can eat you up." With that, the wolf leaped out of bed and swallowed Little Red Riding Hood whole. Then, feeling full, it lay back down and began snoring loudly. After a while, a hunter who knew Grandma happened to pass by. Hearing the loud snoring, he thought, That's strange. Why is she snoring so loudly? I should check on her. He entered the house and saw the wolf lying in bed. You wicked creature. I've been looking for you for so long, and here you are, he said. He was about to shoot the wolf when he thought, maybe Grandma is still alive inside. So he put down his gun and took out a pair of scissors, quickly cutting open the wolf's belly. As soon as he made a small cut, he saw a flash of red. Startled, he realized the wolf had swallowed not just Grandma. He cut faster, and Little Red Riding Hood jumped out. That was so scary. It was so dark inside, she cried. Then Grandma crawled out, gasping for air. To punish the wolf, they decided to fill its belly with heavy stones. The hunter and Little Red Riding Hood carried large rocks and stuffed them inside before sewing the belly shut. When the wolf finally woke up, it felt thirsty and stumbled toward the river. But the heavy stones made it lose balance, and it fell into the water and drowned. The three of them rejoiced. The hunter went home proudly. Grandma felt better after eating the cake and wine, and Little Red Riding Hood thought, from now on, I will always listen to my mother and never talk to strangers again.